Thank you so much for joining me back here for week 1, day 2 of Stitching Your Story Piece by Piece. In recent years, as I started teaching sewing, I've also started reading more about the fast fashion industry. A frequent question I get asked is about the quality of fabric in relation to why our clothes do not last as long as they used to. While fabric quality is part of the issue, compromised stitches are even more significant reasons clothing is not being held together. In her book Overdressed, The Shockingly High Cost of Cheap Fashion, Elizabeth Klein interviewed designer Eliza Starbuck about the fashion industry. Starbuck discussed how production compromises sewing for the sake of speed and costs, explaining that factories may use a looser and less secure stitch to expedite garment production. In this example of fast fashion, some issues have nothing to do with the fabric and everything to do with the stitching. In a similar way, I think that we may often blame anxiety and lack of peace on a genetic disposition when it may be completely unrelated to genetics. Johns Hopkins Medical School conducted a 30-year study to research if a single related cause existed for mental illness, hypertension, malignant tumors, coronary heart disease, and suicide. Surprisingly, the predictor of these maladies has nothing to do with genetics, but the key factor was the lack of closeness to parents, in particular the father. This story is an integral part of my childhood. The memories of my father's illness are vague, but I remember the last visit to the hospital. It was evening and a snowstorm was coming. My brother, mother, and I said goodnight and drove home. The next morning, I woke up to my mom sitting on the piano bench in the living room. All I remember were the words, "He's gone." At that moment, I didn't have the overwhelming feelings of grief. I took it as a fact of life. Death comes to all of us. My focus was on the fact that he was in heaven. What I didn't know then was that losing him shaped my childhood and my attachment. My 7-year-old self had no words for abandonment, yet losing a parent affected my ability to attach securely to God, as Tim Clinton and Joshua Strobe relate in this book, God Attachment. How we attach to our parents correlates to how we attach to God as our Father. Without secure attachment to God, it is only natural that we have a hard time handling the stress of life, which leads to such things as mental illness, hypertension, etc., as proven by the Johns Hopkins study. Read Psalm 56:8. Record my misery, list my tears on your scroll. Are they not in your record? Prayer. Before beginning this exercise, Father, thank you for being in my childhood. I know that you saw what I experienced. I believe your word says you kept track of all my pain. Psalm 56:8. As I reflect on my past, may your presence with me now be a source of comfort and healing. Thank you for the gift of your Spirit, who is my comfort. Amen. Journal some reflections of your childhood. Did you feel close to your parents? Write specific memories that may be painful to you. Write down whatever comes to mind, both what is good and what is painful. How does it make you feel to know that God keeps track of all your pain? And then you can just journal and record your thoughts. And a closing prayer. Father, Father, though my past was painful, I believe you were there with me. Thank you for not forsaking me. Give me the eyes to see all the times when you were there beside me, delivering me even in times of great pain. Amen. The power prayer for week 1 is, thank you, Father, for teaching me secure attachment as I become rooted and built up in Christ. Be sure to stay connected for the next reading of Stitching Your Story. Grab the paperback or ebook on Amazon. And stay tuned for updates about a translation of Stitching Your Story into Albanian for Come and Sew Ministries International.